In 1519, the Spanish set foot on the shores of Mexico, an arrival that would topple empires and reshape the fate of a continent. By 1524, they'd blazed a trail of terror across Guatemala. Yet, even as the highlands burned, Spanish eyes turned toward El Salvador, the land of cacao, wealth, and warriors who would not kneel.
What followed was a clash of worlds. Steel against obsidian, gunpowder against stone, conquest against freedom. This region, this beautiful, beautiful region, was forged by blood and fire.
I would like to take a moment to offer my sincere thanks to some steadfast supporters, Victor, Marvin, and El Angelino. Your encouragement and generosity make this journey possible, and I am deeply grateful. I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge the top commenter from last week's video. And yes, I'm okay. Travel comes with its ups and downs. Some days are smooth, some days are character building. But the good far outweighs the bad. And honestly, any day I'm alive and still able to wander around this beautiful country is a good day in my book. I truly appreciate all your comments. Keep them coming. Acajutla lies roughly 2 hours from San Salvador, reached by smooth, well-kept highways. But today, I'm not coming from the capital. I'm winding through the back mountain roads instead. Aside from dodging the occasional pothole and bracing for speed bumps that appear without warning, the drive is remarkably calm and unhurried. It's on roads like these that El Salvador quietly reveals its beauty. Small towns pass by, places where people are born, live their lives, and often never leave. If you don't travel this way, you'll never see them. And that, somehow, makes the journey feel just as meaningful as the destination.
Somebody's backup plan, telling you not asking, don't do that again. Go ahead and leave, but don't come back for me. Listen to me carefully, I'm adamant. Say it with my chest, no, I'm passionate. Waving goodbye while I'm laughing. Behaving like a baby, yeah, you asked for it. You're gonna have to do a little more. Gotta do a little more. See this one before, now I'm gonna get more. Gonna have to do a little more. Gotta have to do it. Gotta do a little bit more. You're gonna have to do a little more. See this one for sure, you don't like the way it goes on.
With a population of roughly 55,000, Acajutla stands as El Salvador's principal seaport, positioned along the nation's northwestern Pacific coast. From this harbor, vast exports of coffee, sugar, and the prized balsam of Peru set sail, linking the country to distant markets. It serves as the nation's foremost industrial maritime hub, functional and bustling, though seldom admired for its beauty. For this reason, many travelers pass it by. Yet, Acajutla's strategic location has made it a well-developed and densely populated city, alive with opportunity. Beyond its shipping lanes and industry, it offers diversions for visitors, especially surfers drawn to its nearby shores. The region boasts an array of beaches with waves that range from gentle swells for beginners to formidable breaks that challenge even the most seasoned riders. Fuente de Flores Parque Botanico is a cherished retreat for both locals and visitors, offering spaces where children and adults alike can enjoy playful games beneath the open sky. At its heart lies a botanical garden, alive with vibrant flowers that paint the landscape in every shade of beauty. Now that I've stepped out of the car, the Acajutla heat has officially introduced itself, and it is aggressive. El Salvador is hot everywhere, except the mountains. But this heat hits different. This is the kind of heat that makes you question your outfit, your life choices, and whether walking uphill is a mistake. The sun is not playing games, and neither is the humidity. A mirador crowns the grounds, granting breathtaking, panoramic views of the city that make the climb and the heat worthwhile.
Beyond the cliffs, there's a breaker in the wall. I've never gone that far, roving in the dark.
Say hello to the Pacific Ocean. So because I live in the eastern United States, I never get to see the Pacific. And I finally get to see it. Oh my God, it's magnificent. Okay.
Another rugged mile upon into the north. I will be different than I was before.
There's also like a cool little cave down there. Obviously, I'm not going down there because like this just goes right off a cliff. So it's really cool looking though. I'm not sure if I can.
With the reasons for my crime, burning up my mind. Flowers like candles on a way for me to run. I have to be the sun who I become. Another rugged mile upon
Okie dokie, let's find a restaurant.
담담하게 넌 무뚝뚝한 말투로 미안하고 고마웠다 말하네. 이미 알고 있단 듯 고개 끄덕였지만 아직 잡은 손을 놓지는 못해. 울어버리면 현실이 될까봐 참아보지만.
So this is Restaurante Cafe La Cueva, perhaps named after the cave that I just saw. Here's some more of the awesome Pacific Ocean. And there's another cave down there, so maybe it's named after that cave, who knows. But anyway, this is a primo spot. There seems to be, obviously, a huge focus on fish here, so I don't know what I'm going to be able to eat, but at the very least, I will find some french fries and a drink, and also a bathroom.
어쩐지 상처만 주는 것 같아. 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주 보지 않는 우린 남이 됐겠지. 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를. 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지. 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까. 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주 보지 않는 우린 남이 됐겠지. 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를. 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지. 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I'm like, the ocean's right there. Like I'm about to eat something. God knows what, and it really doesn't matter because the ocean is right there. Okay, so I don't eat meat or fish. Is it possible to have a plate full of sides?
The combination size?
Yeah. So you've got on here, you've got rice.
How do your vegetables? How do you like it?
Grilled or sautéed is perfect.
Okay.
I love rice. I love rice and beans.
Okay. Do you like mix it? We call it here in Salvador casamiento. The waiting is
mixed rice and beans.
Rice and beans.
Okay.
together.
Yeah. Perfect. That's great. You've got papas fritas on here. Love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love French fries. So just no me gusta ensalada.
Got it.
Everything else is great. Okay.
So you want vegetables, grilled vegetables, the rice and beans, and the French fries.
And the
French fries.
French fries. Yes.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
No meat, no nothing.
No
No
meat,
cheese.
No cheese. No meat. No fish.
Got it.
Thank you
very
so much. Thank
Enjoy
you.
your time with us.
Thank you.
Let my imagination keep me company. It don't even matter what's reality. Need something different. Don't care where it's from. Don't care if it's right or wrong. Don't care, I can play along. It don't matter, make it good as it's not even me. Alter ego, it could just be placebo. Placebo. It don't matter, make it good. It don't have to make sense, can be understood. It could just be placebo. Placebo. Close my eyes, I can feel it now, deep inside my mind. The truth is I believe the lie. Close my eyes, I can feel it now. Making up this life, working overtime, keeping it alive so I can stay inside it. It don't matter, make it good as it's not even me. Alter ego, it could just be placebo. It could just be placebo.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias. La quinta. So I had one drink to go with my food and another drink to go with my story. Don't judge me. In 1519, Hernán Cortés landed on the shores of Mexico, setting into motion one of the most consequential conquests in history.
By 1521, Cortés had toppled the mighty Aztec Empire. To expand his dominion further south, he dispatched his trusted lieutenant, Pedro de Alvarado, with an army of 120 horsemen, 300 foot soldiers, and several hundred indigenous auxiliaries. Their mission? Subjugate the highland Mayan city-states of present-day Guatemala.
By 1524, Alvarado had secured an alliance with the Cachiquel Mayans of Iximche, leveraging their enmity with rival Mayan factions. I'll link that video in the description, but to summarize, it was a very happy marriage until it was an ugly divorce.
Before the Spanish betrayed the Cachiquel, they used their forces to sweep through the region, crushing Mayan opposition and asserting Spanish dominance. However, the Spanish thirst for conquest did not end in the Guatemalan highlands. Their ambitions stretched toward the lucrative cacao-producing lands of Cuscatlan, a powerful city-state in what is now El Salvador.
The Spanish referred to the people of Cuscatlan as the people, or to get the pronunciation correctly, it's Pipil, P-I-P-I-L, which itself was a Mayan term, and it possibly means young noble. At any rate, the Cachiquel of Iximche were more than happy to join forces with Alvarado against Cuscatlan because they had been adversaries of the people for years. So they lent thousands of warriors to aid in their conquest.
By the summer of 1524, Alvarado's army arrived at the Paz River, marking the northwestern boundary of Cuscatlan territory. News of the Spanish approach spread swiftly, prompting the people villagers to flee, warning their leaders to prepare for the battle ahead. As the army pressed forward, they reached a village on the outskirts of what today is the coastal port of Acajutla. Expecting resistance, Alvarado prepared for battle, yet found the settlement eerily deserted. Frustrated by the apparent game of evasion, he sent scouts in every direction with a clear message to the people forces: surrender or face annihilation.
The response to Alvarado came not from fear, but from defiance. The Cuscatlan leader, Acajutla, issued a challenge. If you want us, come and get us. Alvarado, enraged by such boldness, met the native forces at the location of their choosing. Somewhere near here, Acajutla.
Acajutla's historical existence remains debated. His name literally means human being. Whether he was a singular leader or a symbolic figure representing people resistance is uncertain. However, to the people of this region, he remains a legend, the last great leader of Cuscatlan.
Acajutla picked the location so the wind carried the scent of war long before the first blood was spilled.
Pedro de Alvarado marched into Cuscatlan with thunderous horses, steel, and gunpowder. Thousands of Spaniards and their native allies stood ready. Yet, the land belonged to Acajutla and the people warriors. According to Alvarado, they wore thick cotton armor and were armed with obsidian blades, slings, and spears. The people swore never to bend. When Spanish arrows darkened the sky, they stood firm. Then, Acajutla unleashed his counterattack. Thousands of obsidian stones rained down, one striking Alvarado's leg and shattering it.
Terribly injured, Alvarado made a calculated decision. He ordered a full-scale retreat. The people charged, Acajutla capitalizing upon the opportunity. After all, armies suffer their worst losses when in full-scale retreat. The retreat, however, was a trap.
The Spanish and their allies caught the people forces in a killing field. The battlefield turned to slaughter, yet the people fought like jaguars cornered, refusing to yield. Alvarado later claimed in his report that the weight of the people warriors' 5-finger-thick cotton armor hindered their movements, making it impossible for those who fell to rise again. They were cut down where they stood. The destruction was so great, Alvarado wrote, that in just a short time there were none left alive.
Of course, this was an exaggeration because no one wears anything 5 fingers thick when the sun is 3 feet away from you. Also, many Cuscatlan warriors survived, retreating into the mountains.
The Spanish suffered casualties of their own. Alvarado's wound festered, oozing pus, and left him in agonizing pain for nearly a year. The infection permanently crippled him. He withdrew to Guatemala. His conquest of El Salvador left unfinished. The task of completing the invasion fell to his family.
Keep in mind, one of his brothers, Jorge, was already establishing Ciudad Vieja in Guatemala. I'll link that video in the description. Before the Alvarados, being conquistadors was the family business.
Another brother, Gonzalo de Alvarado, led a renewed expedition in 1525, establishing the Spanish base of San Salvador. From here, they waged relentless campaigns against the people, razing settlements, and hunting down resistance forces. By 1528, Pedro's uncle, Diego de Alvarado, launched the final assault. With overwhelming numbers and firepower, the Spanish and their allies at last shattered Cuscatlan's resistance.
Yet, Atlacat was never actually captured, so his fate remains shrouded in legend.
Some whisper that he survived the bloodbath, but rather than face the enslavement of being paraded as a trophy for a foreign king, he leapt into a volcano, choosing death over subjugation.
Regardless of whether he was a man or a myth, Atlacat lives on in Salvadoran memory. Whether it's the whisper of the wind or the roar of the volcano, his name still echoes. Today, he is a symbol of Cuscatlan's unyielding resistance. The land may have been taken, but the people warrior spirit was never truly conquered.
Would you brave the heat in Acajutla? Let me know in the comments. While you're at it, since you've made it this far in the video, please click the like button. It helps more than you know. The time has come for me to leave Acajutla and hunt down my accommodation somewhere in the suburbs. And once again, just in case anyone forgot, the main roads in El Salvador are excellent. Truly, chef's kiss. The moment you leave them, however, the road says, "Good luck, traveler." As an American, my brain immediately starts negotiating. There has to be a better way. Surely, this isn't the route. Maybe Waze is joking. Perhaps Google Maps missed a turn. But no. This is it. This is the road. In El Salvador, if you want the beauty, you must pay the toll. And that toll is bumpy dirt roads. No credit cards accepted. Suspension required.
Moments pass, make this one count. Untied, you're so good at dragging yourself down. Why? Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the laser, your doubts. There's a heart gone out of rhythm in despair. Hell underwater, fine for air. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your fears bottled up inside, heading for collision in denial. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in.
And here we are, yet another miniature pond masquerading as part of the road, on an already bumpy dirt road. I don't like this one. I don't like any of them, but this one is extra offensive because it's sitting in a hole. I'm in the middle of nowhere. No people, no cars, no helpful locals to casually drive through it first and reassure me. Just me. And some cows, who are absolutely not interested in being my test subjects. I do, however, appreciate the pedestrian bridge, because that means everyone knows this thing exists. It's been here a while. It has tenure. If this were my first day in El Salvador, I'd turn around immediately and head straight back to civilization. But it's not. I'm Salvadoran now. So here's the plan. I throw a rock. If I can see it hit the bottom and it makes ripples, not waves, we proceed. Rock number 1, promising. Rock number 2, for scientific confirmation. Excellent. Full steam ahead.
Don't let me go. I fell out of the roller coaster, crashed out. Landed on cotton candy in your arms and survived. I'm still a disaster, rock bottom and below. I'm yours for the asking. Where you go, I go. I thought I was what I've been told. I thought I was. I thought I was what I've been told. I thought I was. Been a long time, baby. Had a long time, love. Stick with me, maybe. Don't let me go. Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be Been a long time, baby. Had a long time, Lord. Stick with me, maybe. I love you so.
I have arrived at Naia, Miraville. The audio will remain muted because absolutely nothing good would come from anyone hearing the words currently leaving my mouth. I am not in a place of kindness or diplomacy. The gate was closed when I got here, because of course it was. But a very nice family who lives at the entrance opened it for me. Most importantly, I made it here before sunset, which feels like a personal victory worthy of recognition. So now we pause. We breathe deeply. We re-enter. And we attempt to start over. Just a little more open-minded than I was 5 minutes ago.
시원하게 뻗은 highway road 야자수 아래 우린 Cadillac drive Your shine Just take my hand You 어서 용기 말 기다리는데 왜 모르니 Yeah I'm ready One step 달려와줘 like a little 나만 사랑한다고 가져왔던 떨림마저 저 바람결에 사라지는 것 내려서 잠깐 거릴 거 Yeah 설레는 그말 눈부시게 빛난 모래 위 걸음 slow down 모든 게 좋아 Sunshine Just take my hand You 어서 용기 말 기다리는데 왜 모르니 Yeah I'm ready One step 달려와줘 like a little 나만 사랑한다고 가져왔던 떨림마저 저 바람결에 사라지는 것 그대와 내 사이 모여진 그림자 가까워지고 두근거림 속에 우리 시작된 firework 가와줘 나만 사랑한다고 감춰왔던 떨림마저 저 바람결에 사라지는 것 One step 달려와줘 like a little 나만 사랑한다고 감춰왔던 떨림마저 저 바람결에 사라지는 것
The moment I was greeted by the dogs, Naia and Coco, I knew everything was going to be fine. They immediately stole the show. The ocean view, honestly, just a bonus at that point. I'm in bungalow 3, which, like all the bungalows, requires climbing stairs. Character building stairs. Thankfully, the kind gentleman helped me with my luggage, because I had already used up all my bravery getting here. The main sleeping area opens straight out toward the Pacific Ocean. I get to listen to waves all night. There's a small balcony for staring dramatically into the distance. There's also an extra bed with no view, which I will not be acknowledging further, other than to add there's a mini fridge, which is a nice touch. I love that there's a place to hang clothes because I wash as I go and I refuse to live out of a suitcase like a gremlin. The bathroom is a good size. There's no hot water, but you knew that. Everything is spotless, and blessings upon blessings, there is air conditioning and Wi-Fi. After the roads, the ponds, the emotional turmoil, I could not be happier. Link in the description.
You cannot discount a dirt road in El Salvador because sometimes dirt roads lead to the best things. I feel bad for all the complaining that I did on the way here. that you didn't hear, because I'm definitely going to mute all that. All the curse words, everything is going to get muted. I think I have the best view in the place. It's just a sliver of the ocean, but man. It's the freaking Pacific!
The road to get here was brutal. Loose gravel, mostly dirt. Deep ruts, sudden ponds, long stretches where I questioned every decision that brought me this way. The kind of road that doesn't just shake your car, it shakes your patience. But now I'm here. Black sand under my feet, still warm from the day. The Pacific stretches endlessly in front of me, and the sun finally slowing down, softening everything it touches. It's funny how quickly the frustration fades, how the body forgets the discomfort once the reward arrives. Walking here, it feels impossible that an hour ago I was gripping the steering wheel, negotiating with potholes and gravity. This beach doesn't announce itself. It doesn't sparkle or shout. It's quiet, grounded, ancient. The sand is dark from volcanic fire, the same forces that built this land and made the journey so difficult in the first place. And maybe that's the lesson. Some places make you earn the calm. They ask for patience before offering peace. The road tests you, but the ocean restores you. As the sun sinks lower, the sky softens, and the waves keep their steady rhythm, I realize something simple but important. Some beauty isn't meant to be easy. It's meant to be felt after you arrive. Stay curious, be inspired, find freedom, wander elsewhere. I will see you in the next one.